The fat pad. There are actually a few fat pads, but I'm just gonna cover the main one. I guess I'll address the other ones at the end. It is the infrapatellar fat pad. I was watching a video. This one guy called it the airbag over the knee. I think he was getting at that is meant for cushioning and protection of the other structures of the knee. And it also stores stem cells, so maybe it's helping in regeneration of the other structures around it. It's like right next to the patellar tendon. I think some research says that they're touching each other. So maybe it's involved in helping tendon regeneration. I don't know. When the fat pad is aggravated, it's a pretty awful thing. Here are the signs that you're going to be thinking of infrapatellar fat pad syndrome. There'll be intense pain on either side of the patella. There was a study, these two guys, one guy volunteered to get himself opened up, and the other guy was poking around in there without any pain relief, anesthesia, anything. And the fat pad was found to be the most sensitive structure in the front of the knee. So you could think that when it is aggravated, it's going to be a very intense pain. And they say that it's highly vascularized and richly innervated, so that's why you'll get so much pain when this thing is set off. Another sign is that it'll be worse in extension because the fat pad can get impinged and aggravated when the knee extends. So if people are standing with flat shoes and walking around, that can actually cause fat pad irritation. The fat pad can be swollen. So Hoffa was the guy. It's called Hoffa's disease. Hoffa described it as inflammatory hypertrophy, where there's localized edema to the fat pad. So the fat pad gets bigger, which probably makes this problem even worse because it's easier to get impinged. There's a palpation test that can be done. It's called Hoffa's test, where when the person goes more towards extension, if they have more pain, that would be a positive test. And there are a few reasons why the fat pad gets aggravated in the first place. The first is acute trauma from a direct blow. So you got hit in that area, or you got surgery and the arthroscopy portals went through the fat pad and aggravated it. The other reason why would be chronic aggravation from classic impingement. So it's just overuse of extending the knee and getting the thing impinged over and over. And the last is inflammatory from obesity or osteoarthritis. So someone who is older or more unhealthy. But anyone can get infrapatellar fat pad syndrome from playing their sport, from surgery, from general poor health. But the research shows that it usually affects middle-aged adults, and for some reason more common in females. That's it for the infrapatellar fat pad. There are actually two more fat pads located above the patella. The first is the anterior suprapatellar, the quadriceps, and these people report tenderness at the superior pole of the patella, which would be the area of a quadriceps tendinopathy. And with quadriceps tendinopathy, the pain gets worse in deep knee flexion. So that can kind of be maybe a little bit difficult to distinguish between the two. The other one is the posterior prepatellar prefemoral, or it's called prefemoral fat pad. And these people report that is just above the quadriceps fat pad. And these people report pain worsened by hyperextension. So going with the infrapatellar fat pad as the knee extends. So those are the things with the fat pad. The fat pad, pretty intense pain when you set them off, and those two, the infrapatellar and the prefemoral, worse in extension or hyperextension, and the quadriceps fat pad probably worse in deep knee flexion.